Let's use Google Sheet to analyze share market data or do financial analysis. I will be doing this analysis for 5 years, starting from 20 August 2016 to 21st August 2021. The companies which I will first take is Google and Microsoft. So the first thing which you should understand here is just see this formula. Google Finance, then the ticker for Google, which is Goog, and the current name of Google is Alphabet, right? So we also write that we need name for Google Finance. So the ticker, then name inside the inverted commas, and then you'll get the name of the company, Alphabet Inc class C, which is Google. And then similarly, we can do that for Microsoft, which is MSFT, and then name, which will be Microsoft Corporation, which is Microsoft. And now the data will be populated here. Over here, you can see the data for Microsoft and Google both. Now, the next thing is we can plot the data of Google and Microsoft here. Now, if you see this plot, you can very much understand that these plots are linked to the data over here and they are pretty similar to each other as well. So you might have some kind of an understanding that they have some kind of a relationship between them. So how to check that? So you can do a simple correlation coefficient. Now this is the formula for correlation coefficient in Google Sheets. How will you do? Just write correl and link the cells. So the first range is your Google and the second range is your Microsoft, and you get the correlation coefficient of 0.944, which is pretty high, understandable with the graph as well. So this was for Google and Microsoft. We can do the same analysis for any Indian company as well. We have over here Infosys. So again the same formula, Google Finance, the ticker and the name. Infosys will come up, and then we will write the ticker for TCS and then name Google Finance, and then Google Finance for Wipro, the same formula. You can see the data over of Infosys is here, then for TCS, then for Wipro. I have plotted Infosys, TCS, and you can see Wipro. And the thing which you can realize from here is, again, you can see that there is some kind of relation between these three. So how will you understand how strong the relation is? Again, we will rely with the correlation coefficient. So what we can do here is we can make a correlation matrix like this, right? So you can see that between TCS and Infosys there's 0.957, and between Wipro and Infosys there's 0.952. So you can say that TCS and Infosys are very related with each other, and Wipro and Infosys. So you can say that Infosys is related to both TCS or Wipro. But if you look at TCS and Wipro, they are not that strongly related. Just look at the graph. I mean, you can have some kind of understanding here that TCS and Wipro, they are quite different. They are lot similar as well, but they're different as well, because you see the bump over here, but that bump is not pronounced here, and then this valley is not present here. But if you look at Infosys and TCS, they look pretty similar to each other. And even if, let's say, I take an Infosys and a Wipro, it looks similar, right? So that's what you have to understand, that how shares are related with each other. And these are basic analysis. I mean, obviously we are not doing some kind of very statistical or a very technical analysis, just simple analysis which should be done at the preliminary stage. Now let's also do some kind of an analysis as to how much of returns has these shares given. Infosys, TCS and Wipro. Let's say we invested 1 rupee in Infosys, TCS and Wipro in the starting of that period, which is 22 August 2016. And what will be that 1 rupee at the end of the period, which is 20th August 2021. So in 5 years time, you see my shares of Infosys has given me 3.4 for 1, and the same one for TCS has turned to 2.79, and that one for Wipro has given me 3.2. I can do the plot also for this here. You can see the plot over here, and pretty much you can see that Infosys is leading, then Wipro, then you have TCS over here, which is apparent from the data here as well. Now how I have made this data? Very simple. I just divided the share prices with the initial share price, right, which is the starting period share price, and then obviously you get the ratio. I mean, what is the multiple of the share price basis the beginning of the period. Same for TCS, same for Wipro, and then the data is here and then the plot is here. There are similar videos based on Python and finance, so if you have not checked out those videos, do check them out.